Right, you're watching TVC Breakfast. Nigeria may be heading for a revolution in tomato production in the coming days, and that's because the Central Bank and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture are working hand in hand to launch a new program.
While the CBN is furnishing tomato farmers with capital through its Anchor Borrower scheme, the federal government plans to place a ban on import of tomato products before the end of the year. Edith Datele tells us more.
Tomato is cultivated in many parts of Nigeria, with 80% of the vegetable grown in the north alone. The country is the 14th largest producer of the plant in the world and second in Africa after Egypt. Ironically, Nigeria is also the largest importer of tomato paste in the world, importing an average of 150,000 tons of concentrate per annum. Nigeria currently produces 1.8 million tons of tomato annually, while demand is 2.3 million tons. Imported tomato paste, powder, and concentrate make Nigeria currently produces 1.8 million tons of tomato annually, while demand is 2.3 million tons. Imported tomato paste, powder, and concentrate make up for the supply deficit. Tomato has a short shelf life. In Nigeria, 40 to 51% of tomato produced never make it to the market due to poor processing and storage facilities. The Central Bank of Nigeria has over time given support to the agricultural value chain. The Apex Bank is now stepping up its efforts towards an enhanced tomato processing industry. The aim is for Nigeria to achieve self-sufficiency in tomato production in the next 1 year.
This will make us to get more aggressive and vigorously pursue the objective of diversifying the structure of the Nigerian economy. My own selfish interest here is that up till very recently, we still were importing tomatoes into the country, whereas we could save the foreign exchange.
To further boost production and grow the local industry, the federal government is set to ban the importation of tomato puree before the end of 2019. Some health experts have also raised concerns over the consumption of imported tomato concentrate, stating that some of the products are laced with cancer-causing coloring and preservatives. With the ban on tomato concentrate in place, Nigeria will not only grow its local industry, but will also have successfully shut its borders to substandard tomato products. Edith Datele, TVC News.
Joining us in the studio is a farmer and entrepreneur, John Akirili. Thank you for coming to join us this morning. This should be some cheery news for you, seeing we want to build self-sufficiency in tomato production.
It's actually a mixed feeling for me because I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
I'm scared because this policy may actually go the way of that of rice importation and frozen foods. Because in a case where the country itself, we are deficient of 0.5 million metric tons of tomato in a year. Now, the government is not looking at how we can come to a scene of sufficiency for our local consumption, then looking at export. So if you're not looking at providing an area to give people what the deficit is, and then you are creating a ban, a total ban, then something is wrong somewhere.
But isn't this the reason why the government is coming up with this ban, so that you can build that self-sufficiency?
The question I need to ask the government also is to look at the 1.8 million metric tons that we produce annually. How many of these units are we maximizing? How many of it goes into waste? So instead of that, the government should look at maximizing the 1.8 million metric tons per annum that we produce and make sure that we get the exact amount out of that for our local consumption. And thereafter, when we are sufficient, we can now look at exporting to other African countries, since we're the second largest.
But then there is an Anchor Borrower scheme that the government says it is making available to farmers like you.
Thank you, God bless you. I was actually a part of a training for BOI under tomato processing plant. I think they will know that now. At the end of the day, they frustrated all plans to encourage young people to go to tomato
do that?
Okay, now when it gets to time of disbursement of funds, we can start seeing different kind of sin coming up, and they are telling us that these people are not fit, these are not fit. And at the end of the day,
were there requirements that they needed you guys to meet up with?
We met with all of the requirements. Okay, one of the requirements is to come into a cooperative, about 10 to 20 people, which we are. And we add that kind of cooperative, register with Lagos government, get all of the requirements, and later on there are some things that you can't see on air here that were demands before that can be released to us. This is a Nigerian factor. But then let's talk about this tomato processing. Now, if we maximize that which we are producing, then we can now place a ban. But in a case where there's a deficit and you are placing a ban, two things will happen. Now you are giving room for smuggling of tomato powder, paste, or concentrate, as you may call it, or puree, as it's called.
So in 15 seconds, quickly, what would you expect the government to do in this case?
What I would expect the government to do is simple. One is to make sure that we maximize that which we have already on ground. Two is to encourage more farmers by giving them hybrid seed. Three is to give them a conducive environment that will make farmers to thrive, and also encourage other young people to go into farming, especially tomato processing. And at the end of the day, we have more jobs, we have enough tomato to serve our populace and export to other African countries by generating foreign exchange for ourselves. And lastly, with that, we create employment for our young population.
Well, John Akerele, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
With that, there's a wrap on the program today. Thank you very much for spending your morning with us. Tomorrow, we'll be back again with other issues. Have a great day ahead.